Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Listen, if I told you that you were going to get in an elevator and that elevator was going to fall, let's say 2 stories, and I told you the exact week when it was going to happen, and I told you this for 2 months, would you be surprised? And hopefully the answer is no. If I told you, on the other hand, that that elevator, after it falls, the door would open and a pile of cash would fall into the elevator, right? And then help will come and it will bring you up, then you would be prepared, right? So I would get in that elevator with bags and stuff to carry the cash. Well, what's going on right now, good people, is exactly what was expected. Before I go to crypto, let's just talk about stock. Let's just talk about the stock market because this is not a warning. This was a warning, but today it was an expectation for the markets to be doing what they're doing because this is what we prepared for. This is what we talked about. Let's look at this. The NASDAQ and the Dow absolutely roller coaster down today. Opened, right? Ran up, right? Open negative, ran up, tried to come back, and then fell like a roller coaster. Now it ran back up, and who knows? I don't know what the close is going to be. It could go back down. This is the first day, good people, of September. And remember, I've been constantly telling you that September was a worse month than August. I told you August was a bad month and September was a bad month. Well, at some point prophecy gets fulfilled. The market expects it. There's a lot of people getting ready, back to school. They're locking in profits. A lot of wells and industries, or should I say institutions, locking in profits, right? And then we know what happens at the end of the year, a lot of tax loss harvesting. So this was to be expected. And for those of us that were ready, we ain't scared. We are prepared. Now, there's another thing that's happening to the market right now that's spooking the market, and it's a reason why the VIX is spiking up. And as you could see, the VIX has cooled off. You see here by 2 points, but the VIX cooled off and then it spiked up. Look at that. It spiked up like 8.5%. This was today. The VIX spiked up. Now, I know some of you are in the VXX, and I just want to caution you that the VXX is not a long-term build your portfolio. As a matter of fact, it's loaded with fees, and the fees come in the front end. My chair is literally shrinking as I talk to you guys. All right, excuse me. Sorry about that. Not editing that out. I need to get this out in a timely fashion. So the VXX is actually front ended with a lot of expenses. The expense ratio is at the front, and then it resets. It resets like monthly. It just resets, and it goes lower and lower. And at some point, the VIX could go up. And I'm not talking about spike, but it could go up, and you could still lose money or just remain flat. Let me show you here, right? So this is the VXX, and as you could see, it came down. Now, here at 41, which we were first buying under 39, it spiked all the way up to 90. You would have doubled your money. Then it came back down, spiked up again. Look at that. This is on the weekly, and now it's trending back down. So now the reset for me is down here around 35, 43, and then it's going to trend down from there, right? I let the people in Money Move know about this play, and if you zoom out, you will see that it has been, I just threw this together, on a consistent downtrend because that's the way it is compiled to trade the volatility of the stock market. And if you don't know this and you're up, I suggest you set a stop loss, lock in some gains like I did this morning, and govern yourselves. Okay, anything could happen, and this thing could spike up to 50 tomorrow. It could spike up to 50 before close. All right, why? What could happen? Here's some of the things that's going on right now. Look at this. Stock market Dow falls more than 500 points to kick off September tariff, all right? So there is something going on now that the courts are challenging the president and is saying that the tariffs were unconstitutional. And now that, believe it or not, is negative on the market because the market is what? Confused. The market does not like uncertainty. The market likes certainty. Meanwhile, our our enemies here in the US, I'm just going to call it what it is, all of US enemies are actually meeting. So we have it right here. Hong Kong, North Korea leader Kim Jong-un arrived in Beijing on Tuesday to join Russian Vladimir Putin and China's President Xi. Look at that. For a show of force against the West. Well, guess what, people? Guess who's in the West, right? Then they had a meeting, all right? Look at here. Let me see. Earlier, Russian leader greeted his host as a dear friend and said relationships between the countries had reached their highest level in history as they sought to challenge the U.S. global dominance. So you got China, and China got flipped by India, and the president of India had a meeting with Vladimir Putin also. So you have all of these powerhouses meeting together so they could kind of team up against the West, right? So then you have the two most populated continents on the planet, which is China, and they got flipped by India. China over 1.4 billion. India's probably 1.5 to 1.7. And they are they're a powerhouse. Let's call it what it is, okay? So that, I believe, is one of the reasons that it's spiking up, the VIX, okay? So before I move on to crypto, I just want to let you guys know something. I'm going to be doing some traveling, and I'm going to be able to meet some of you guys. Virginia, come out and join your boy. I will be in the DMV area. Look at that. And guess who I am going to be on a stage with? David Robinson. David Robinson, this will be the 4th annual Iron Sharpens Iron. And I will be on the stage with David Robinson on Saturday. And I believe that Friday I'll be speaking myself. For those of you that love basketball and you remember the Dream Team, I'm talking about that David Robinson right there. That's the David Robinson from the Dream Team. You know that David Robinson, okay? So it's going to be an honor and a pleasure to meet you guys. He was known, you guys know he served and all of that. But the Dream Team, one of the just absolute best to ever do it. That's September 19th through the 21st. I will be there in Virginia. Anybody in the DMV area, come on out. This is going to be worth thousands of dollars, but it is absolutely free. So just come on out. We're going to have 3 days of good music and just some powerful speaking. We want to pour into you guys. So if I have any fans, come out and meet us there. Remember, I'm going to leave a link, okay, for this event. I'm going to leave a link for the Iron Sharpens Iron, okay? Come on out, bring your kids. Let's pack the place out and just be prepared to come for 3 days. If you can't make one day, then make the other day. You know how it goes, good people. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. I thought you guys would really enjoy being in the place. Now, let's go to cryptocurrency. And as we could see, it is mixed. It's a mixed deal. For the day, we are mostly greens. But look, 110.8, good people, 1.5% up over yesterday. Ethereum is still down 2%, and we got XRP up 2%. You see how they're going in lockstep now? So what's happening is now the alts are still relatively, I say minor drops as it pertains to Bitcoin. I still like what I see, though it is red. Larry, how can you like what you see? Because I've been here before. And this is just a Tuesday for crypto for it to do the pullback that it's done over the last 4 days. This is just a Tuesday for crypto. This is not the stock market, all right? So, weak hands are going to get shooken out. But remember, I told you guys on yesterday, 8 out of 11% of the times, according to this report that I read on yesterday, crypto absolutely moons next month, right? So not only do you regain your losses, but it actually pumps beyond that, right? So that's what, over 72%. So 72% of the time is a good track record. So remember, check out the links in the description. If you're on your phone, go to where it says description and come and join us with Money Moves, all right? And then if you need Stock Up You, there's a coupon code in Stock Up You. And then join us for this. Listen, you don't want to miss Iron Sharpens Iron. Come on out. And we're just going to pour into you guys. We're going to have a party like we normally do. And then I'm going to just hang around afterwards and meet and greet you guys, okay? But it's 3 days and it's free 99. Come on out, all right, good people? We will see you tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, and learn.